right through you like an X-ray. Say you down for squad, but quick to snitch right when the stress came. Writing statements, turn them bitches in just like an essay. Run up with the tech and let it burn just like a chest pain.
If a nigga can fuck with it, up in my bullets, I ain't gon' run this shit. I don't ride with these niggas who dumb as shit. If I think of this dog, till I come with them. So that bitch ever bitch in my government. I can play, but just spit up that other shit. When I'm rich, I be rolling with funny shit. When I'm one of my grip, I'm a funny shit.
What up? We are the Rage community. Shout out Rise Mob. Shout out everybody. Okay, alright. Ooh, yes, I look good. So today we is gonna talk about an artist that you will might know. So we're gonna start off with some news. I got some bad news maybe for some, and just news for others, and good news maybe for some. You all might know, and before I say this, I'm saying all this because it might bring this might actually not just be, you know, I'm not trying to do this to gossip. This could be a message for everyone in the scene to try and like look at what he did and then see how this can pertain to you. We all know the scene, someone in the scene named Fukkit, right? Fukkit. Yes, that's how you say his name. I'm not just saying a curse word. His name is actually Fukkit. You might know him, really dope artist, really good. Someone that I, used to love and still listen to, but more so when the scene was kind of jumping off. But I still do go by and listen to some of his stuff from time to time. Fukkit is no longer a part of the Midnight Society. If you know the Midnight Society, if you don't know, they're in my documentary. If you do know, and yeah, it might come as a shocker and a non-shocker. The reason why it's a shocker, like for myself, is because when you think of Midnight Society, you think of people like Kamiyata, the Virus and Antidote. You think of like Young Bambi. You think of Original God, Brando, Braxton Knight, and Fukkit. So they're like the members that like you always hear about. You never really suspected him to leave for how close he was with them. And it's the only gossip thing I'm going to say in this entire thing. He actually unfollowed Kamiyata, and I thought that was crazy. That might be the shocker. It might be a non-shocker because I'm not going to get into detail because it's not, like I said, I'm not trying to gossip or have it my business. He has a lot of controversial history. He used to be a members only, and he left that on bad terms, and he had a lot of issues with XXXTentacion. It's a lot of shit. If you know Fukkit, then that's what he kind of got into. He joined Midnight, and now he's not in Midnight anymore. It just happened recently, probably about a week at this time. Fukkit leaving, what does that mean? I kind of just think that it just means he just wants to go solo. I'm not here to say as for what actually happened. I don't know. I don't have ties to Midnight. I don't really know any of them. Like, I've spoken to some on occasion, but I'm not really someone that knows them. But shout them out. I am a fan of them, and I'm a fan of Fukkit. I don't know any of them personally, but their music, and I support them musically. He was a part of Midnight, and you might know him from that he left. I'm not here to gossip about that. But I think this is a lesson to people in the scene that are in collectives. You're not guaranteed to have to stay in the collective that you're in. A lot of people probably feel like they're obligated to stay, and I don't want them to feel like that. If you feel like leaving is the best bet, then leave. Another example for someone that left, I didn't know he left for a minute, was Black Sand. Shout out Black Sand, I was a fan of him. He was also someone I always closely associated to Midnight, but from what I saw, he mostly left on good terms. He just wanted to go solo. He left, and Black Sand is a producer and a rapper. So he's very self-supporting. Black Sand can just make his own beat, rap on his beat, and he does do that. He's a very self-supporting artist, and he just felt leaving was the best for him. Not that he hates, I'm sure he doesn't hate people in Midnight. It was just something that he just wanted to do. Something that he felt was best for his career. It could be the same for Fukkit. Fukkit made a post, if I find it, I'll put it up, where he just feels it's best for him to, leave on his own merit. He said he's better solo. He's not joining any more collectives. So that's that. That's Fukkit's decision. So I mean to talk about this to say, if you're in a collective and you don't want to be, don't feel obligated to have to stay. They might be mad at you for leaving. They might not. You can always still be friends with them. You can even still do things you did when you were in the collective. You're just not part of it, It's an association thing. It's a personal solo thing. If you feel going solo is best for you, do it. If joining a collective is best for you, do it. If staying in a collective is best for you, do it. It's all on you. The scene usually just has these collectives, and I feel like it's just it's not something that's needed because we're solo artists anyway. It's not a band, you don't have to You don't need a drummer to make your, you know what I mean? You need a producer, but you can, people outside of your collective can give you a beat. I feel like that's just the thing. We don't have to have a collective. I'm in a YouTube collective with Rise. Shout out Rise Mom. I'm in there with No Bands, with Lil Pale, with Scoop Swain, X Untitled, HD lyric videos. We're a collective. We don't really do anything together. You know, we help each other. We're in a group chat and we give each other advice or ask for advice or tell each other, you know, different things. You know, we still work cohesively. Just none of them worked on this video. Pale helped me with my documentary a little bit. That's really it. It's a documentary, but you know, we don't really help each other on that. Like physically, we're not really in. We plan on doing something like that, but we haven't done it yet. That's just my collective, and we're just a YouTube collective. We all do music occasionally. We don't really work together, but I feel comfortable being in a collective. They feel comfortable in it. You know, we have plans to do more, but that's just what we are. And we help each other, we talk to each other, give each other advice. So don't take Fukkit leaving as like the time to talk about gossip or anything, because that's not what it's about. Another thing, last thing I want to say, Fukkit leaving is not him. He's not going to fall without them. Midnight's not going to fall without him. They're both very strong. Midnight still has Virus, Kamiata, Original God, Brando, all the Braxton Knight, Rare Kuma. They still have everybody they need. Uno from Pluto, they still have everybody. Fukkit has always been a larger artist in the scene, period. You know, up there with the Kamiatas and the Rare Kumas and whatnot. Fukkit leaving is not necessarily a bad thing. Hey, look at Black Sand. He's thriving on his own. Fukkit's going to thrive on his own. Midnight's thriving on their own. So don't look at it as that, and look at this as to question yourself. You know, it's somewhat of a big decision, but at the same time, it's your decision that no one can really make for you or change how you feel. So if you're in a collective and you want to leave, you can very much leave. So that's that. I wanted to share that. Last thing, which is a bit of gossip that I want to share. I've seen a lot of videos where people are talking about Jumex, and they're saying he's an industry plant. Now, if you don't know what an industry plant is, they're just someone strategically placed within the industry, kind of just be a celebrity figure for people to look at for no reason. I don't know if that's 100% true. There are things that I see that kind of might lead to him being an industry plant. So I haven't done any deep research, stuff I vaguely look at. The only song I've ever heard about anything relating to Jumex, even after he blew up and doing like a quick search, is Trapped. I didn't see that he had any other previous song. The only other thing I could find about him was that he was smoking in his math class.
So, velocity of a free-falling object is given by the...
Roll stars, go!
Mark.
Gang shit, you know how it is. They didn't think I would do this. They didn't think I would do this. They didn't think I would do this. Let's go.
It's weird we're in this era where people are blowing up for doing dumb shit. You're blowing up because of this random dumb shit. People are getting famous for this. We're in that weird era where like talent just doesn't really even matter that much. We still have some blowing up because of talent, but we're just in this era where people are looking at different things. It's the younger generation mainly. I'm not trying to sound like an old head, but that's just kind of what it is. And it's us too. It's everybody. But regardless, they say he's an industry plant. I remember they said that Baby Goth is an industry plant as well. I think she worked with Lil Xan too. I say two because I'm not talking about another female that is not an industry plant, but is an example of what they can be. They say Baby Goth is because out of nowhere she blew up too. I don't know for sure. It's scary if he is and if these people are, especially Jumex being so young, if he's an industry plant for someone to put into the industry like that. He did just kind of blow up out of nowhere, you know, whether you like his song or not, it's just kind of random. And that's something that the people in this scene kind of look at because we're busting our ass trying to get notoriety with actually trying to make good content, and he blew up out of nowhere or some shit like that. You know, even Scar had to work his way up. So like, you know, it's just kind of a thing that nobody in the scene really likes about him. I don't know him enough to say anything. If I meet him, that'd be cool. I don't know. Another person that I feel like he might not be an industry plant is because he just might have a good record label or people pushing him in the right direction. Same with Lucifina. If you know her, she works closely with Morgoth Beats and Lil Xan. I know Morgoth personally. He'll mention it in his interview. Morgoth is pushing Lucifina out because he has a background. Like I said, he produced for Bones and Scarlet and whatnot. So he has the resources and he sees a lot in Lucifina. Fun fact, she was on American Idol screaming, so she might be the first screamo rapper, I don't know.
Oh. Yeah! Fire! To me! What you want when I take it back?
Lucifina is not an industry plant, confirmed from me, I have an actual source, and I'll show the source. And one thing, Lucifina's songs, they don't really get good recognition in the comments. I wish people would chill on that. I get you, it's freedom of speech. If you don't like a song, you should say that sucks or whatever. You know, you have a right to say that. They're telling her to quit and whatnot. I don't think that should be done. If you just don't like it, just say you don't like it. Tell her to work on it, you know. Morgoth is a fire producer. I'm pretty sure after a while of him working, she'll come out with some heat. But the point is, she's not an industry plant, and she just has the right people behind her to push her. I won't say she got lucky, but you know, her way of getting out is because she has the right support system. That could be the same with Jumex, you know, talking from our future. So he did direct this video, the trap. Loner, people actually like Loner. People think Loner is a good song. So, you know, he might just be that. I don't think he's necessarily an industry plant. He might just be a kid where someone found that, you know, he has a cool look, that he can make music, and he has something that labels like to see, where he can go out there and go. He had the face tattoos and the colorful hair. That's what rappers tend to usually look like nowadays. So, like I said, and he's young, so he might just have that record label to want to push him in that direction. So, I don't know. So that's all I want to talk about today. So support. Life happens. Rise Mob. Sure, we at this beat. I got a little bit of innovation.